Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. Okay, this person has requested a reading, so that's what we're going to do now. Now, last time we did this gentleman, he'll be the gentleman on the left. He was kind of like a really outgoing person that enjoyed taking risk. Now, a little background is sometimes you just vibe with a person a certain way in the beginning, because things do change. It's all about, at the end of the day, everything's going to be about progression. What was going on yesterday may not necessarily be going on today, and the longer you're in a situation, it may get better or worse, or it may sometimes get better than worse, and sometimes worse than better. So the key word will be progression. So we're trying to just find out a little bit. So that will be the purpose of the video. And also, I recently did, just yesterday, I updated everything that's going on in space. So that video is here as well on this channel, Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. And so this person will be receiving those two videos, because I'll be referring back to that video as well. So we're going to do a few things, and then we're going to finally look at any retrogrades. We're going to talk about that, because that's important. But this is more about compatibility, or even sometimes you just want to know what's going on in a person's life. Like, you really can't beat astrology to find these things out. All right. So you got a sun sign. His is sun sign Virgo, hers is sun sign Scorpio. So let's do that first. Let's look at let's see what's going on with both of them. Give me a second. I'm just going to pull the website up. We're going to do daily and monthly. That's where we're going to start. Then we'll probably do more. All right. This is September 3rd, Sunday, 2017. It's 10:56 a.m. Okay, so for Virgo, your vitality is low. It may be difficult to fight adversity, Virgo. Try not to get discouraged. Instead, realize that this is the part of the natural cycle. Now, remember how I started. See, if you really believe this, this is how you know the difference between a person who really believes this and a person who doesn't. I started out talking about progression, which is cycles. And that's the first thing they're talking about. If you're really in the spirit, you know this information. And that's why I said, I don't come with the BS. You know, I would never follow anything I don't believe. And I've turned down tons of money because I didn't like to feel. So I'm that type of person. Call me stupid. But I go with the heart. I go with the spirit. And that's what this is about. A lot of people get caught up in all kind of silly stuff. And they wonder why they're either laying around with 4 or 5 different people, or whatever the case is. It has to be a sense of integrity in life. And like I said, if you believe, like some people say, well, I don't believe in the Bible, I don't believe in Judgment Day. Okay, but a lot of people believe in karma, so that's still going to be a judgment if you don't believe in Judgment Day. Either way, you're not just going to do what you want to and not answer to somebody for it. And all this stuff that's coming on the earth right now, you know something's up. So that's why you really want to think before you act. That's everybody listening. Because there's no way I can keep saying things and then as soon as I say it, you see it. And I do that a lot on videos. So like, people are more interested in, oh, he better make me feel good. But if making you feel good is eventually going to get you killed or get you bad karma or get you judged adversely, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just tell the truth because I have a conscience. So again, so the spirit realm seems to agree with what I'm saying. This is about progression. It's about cycles. And on September 3rd, 2017, is Virgo is going through something. So that they're warning this person to be aware of his energy patterns, because that's going to be half the battle. And they're encouraging him to don't force yourself into feeling something you don't. And I'm a big person on that. But sometimes you have to. The more I'm learning, you have to. Because otherwise you may never smile. You know, if you're gonna wait till something happens to make you smile, you may never smile. So sometimes you do have to force yourself into positive thinking. So they tell him it's important that you don't overexert yourself or take on more responsibility than you can handle. And that's for Virgo daily. I'm going to do a few other things with Virgo. Now we're going to do the monthly. Well, let me see if they give you the weekly. Cause last time I tried weekly, it stopped. See, it stops on September 3rd, and it is September 3rd, so I want to give the monthly. Monthly for Virgo. Okay, on September 5th, Mercury goes stationary direct. That's in 2 days. And we have a full moon on September 6th. If anybody wants the full moon reading or the space chart, you can let me know. Life should simplify, and imagined pleasures should start to disappear. Imagined pressures should start. So they're saying after September 5th, it'll start to get better. The September full moon reminds you of the powerful love in your life, but you may be blinded by other emotional concerns at the moment. So they're saying a full moon is going to kind of like give love energy, but at the same time, a Virgo might be blinded by other emotional concerns at the moment. Don't be so hypercritical that you discourage real romance. So we haven't determined that yet, but they're saying this Virgo may have internal situations which makes it difficult for them to have experienced love. See, there could be other reasons as well, and maybe we'll get into it. It just depends on how the spirit goes. Now you gotta remember, this is the big holiday. A lot of stuff's going on with Virgo lining up with all the planets. On September 23rd, you have the so-called Jewish holiday Yom Kippur. It's either between the 20th and 22nd. I don't remember the exact date, but there's a lot of stuff going on in September. The new moon on September 19th may be busy but less productive than you like. Don't fret. Take your time and avoid doing things more than once. You prefer doing things right the first time anyway. The sun leaves Virgo and enters Libra on September 22nd. Perk up and have more fun. The best days for Virgo are September 5th, September 9th, September 16th. The worst days for Virgo are September 11th and September 25th. All right. Now, this is career for Virgo. This is for September 3rd, 2017. A person who you may consider to be a lucky charm has come up with a brilliant idea. This person is ready to move forward and is wondering if you want to jump on the bandwagon. And that is going on, because that's what the person who requested this is what they told me. Don't be afraid to say yes. This is important. This is the opportunity you're looking for. And it's funny because this is supposed to be daily career, but that's what this is, because they actually work together. So it is in the career sector. So this astrologer is encouraging his Virgo to make a move. All right, now we're going to do love for Virgo. And this time we'll do weekly. You can't help but think about what might happen next. You've been on a positive tangent when it comes to dating, and everything is coming up roses as the new week begins. You don't expect surprises, but you aren't exactly shocked when something good happens. You know how to bring a smile on your date's face over the weekend, and you're particularly good with the one-liners. Maybe hold off on the knock-knock jokes until date 2. Yeah, because I just did a reading for a Virgo. And I was like, that sounds familiar because I just did a reading just yesterday. All right, so that's what's going on with the Virgo according to the astrologer. Now, this person double checking this is Scorpio. The other one was a Virgo and a Taurus. This is a Virgo and a Scorpio. We're going by the sun signs. And we want sun sign first, or life or sun sign. And want to do life, and we're going to do weekly. No, we're going to do monthly because weekly ends today, September 3rd. Okay, I don't know why. Yeah. Okay, let me do this again. And we're going to do it for Scorpio. Okay, now this is very important because we're talking about the 8th house. Because me and this person, we're talking about the 8th house. First thing it says, monthly. The ghost of lovers past. Now make sure you're listening, because what were we talking about in the email? 8th house, soulmates, things like that. Reincarnation, past lives. Now listen to what they're saying. The ghost of lovers past may tempt you during the full moon on September 6th. Let your social contacts keep you grounded. So again, with that moon, because I keep telling people that moon is all about reincarnation and soul journey. So it might be some type of past stuff going on. And you might even hear somehow from the twin that you first asked me about. Even through dreams or telepathically. So it says the ghost of lovers past may tempt you during the full moon on September 6th. Now, just how this works, because it's a Pisces full moon. I have a relative that's a Pisces, and their son's birthday is September 6th. But a lot of stuff always happens on these holidays with my family and bloodline. Let your social contacts keep you grounded. You may be overlooking a new admirer who wants to become more. So that's pretty interesting, because they're kind of like saying past lovers maybe trying to get your attention, but maybe you need to focus on a new admirer. And this is actually going on in this person's life. The sun trines Pluto on September 9th. So wow, so you're really doing a lot of Pluto Scorpio energy because your sun sign is Scorpio. So you got a lot of Pluto Scorpio energy coming on. And she told me that's what she said something when she wrote me. She said something about her feelings or something. Because she's in tune with the universe. Usually when she tells me something, I can check it out, and she's right. She said you won't be knocked off balance when this sun trines Pluto on September 9th, but others might be knocked off balance. The new moon on September 19th could surprise you with how large your social scene has grown. And she mentioned that in a letter of a lot of people trying to get her to do things that she would rather not do. She said the astrologer says people may appear out of nowhere. You will know them all and like most of them. Stick to standard entertainments and don't get too creative. I'm going to say that again. Stick to standard entertainments and don't get too creative. Not everyone can handle the excitement that you can. Your best days are September 1st, September 10th. September 10th and 11th is supposed to be a terrible storm coming this way, East Coast. And September 23rd, your best days. Your worst days, September 14th, September 28th. Now we're going to do love for Scorpio. I'm going to do monthly. Well, I want to do today because I saw something that was interesting. It says you may suddenly find a reason to go delving into your old address books or looking through old photographs. But if that's true, that's a past life thing. Could be your twin soul, but it's a past life. Right now, that's why you're feeling the way you're feeling. You got a lot of past life stuff going on. But I'm gonna tell you, this is how twin flame works. Let me just tell you, because I work with my twin, and she did everything to drive me freaking crazy. But don't let her see me having fun with another female, because then she couldn't take it. And that's what happens with twin flames. I had another female, same thing. I actually did a natal chart for another twin flame, but this person was listening. And I told that twin flame, you can't sit there and wait your whole life for this thing to happen, because it may never happen. You need to get on with your life. So the other person was just listening to that video, and she said, he's right. She said, I'm going out today. So she got dressed up, did her fingernails. She even sent me an email of her fingernails, an email picture through email. And the moment that she was getting ready to go out that door, her telephone rang, and it was the twin. He called out of nowhere, because they know. And what's going on with her is her twin, or this soul from a past life, knows that she's starting to have feelings for somebody else. So now he's trying to make his presence known. And with all this Pluto Scorpio stuff going on, you best believe. Because like I said, twin flames is very powerful. See, what I notice is people just don't want facts. See, I deal in facts. I don't deal with... Feelings are good, but you got to balance it out. That's all I'm saying. Most of the people here on YouTube deal with feelings. So they don't like me. They'll run to somebody else. Even if somebody else is just blowing smoke up their ass, they'll go there and give that person their resources and shit. They don't deal with me because I deal with facts. But see, when you deal with facts and feelings, you get a better results. When you're just dealing with feeling, you're always going to be chasing, wondering, hoping. Every time a video drops on Twin Flame, you're going to run to it. Divine Masculine, DM, you're going to run to it. Divine Feminine, DF, you're going to run to it. Every video that drops, you're running to it. But you're never, ever really connecting with your twin. Not really. Not physically, not moving forward. Whereas when I deal with the facts and everything I deal with, you move forward. One way or another, you're going to move forward, either with your twin or with your life. But you're going to be moving forward. You're not going to be sitting there wondering when and how and why. Because that's just silly. That's like being lost in the woods and having no way out. So I don't think God gave people a brain to be silly. So feelings have to be balanced. At some point, you have to balance your feelings with your mental facilities. So it says, you may suddenly find a reason to go delving into your old address books or looking through old photographs concerning a memory that is very much on your mind. Because that is your twin soul reaching out to you. That's what that is. A face from the past may be causing you to rethink the reason for ending that relationship. So the universe is trying to pull you back to the twin. It may be time to meet again and see if anything else has changed or could change in the future. So the universe is trying to bring you back to your twin. And anybody that watched the astrologers after the eclipse on August 21st, a lot of astrologers were saying that the universe is going to take you into a double take, some type of relationship or some type of meetup with your twin. Whether it's through dreams, subconscious, through telepathy, or an actual meeting. So that's what's going on. She's actually trying to find out more about this newer interest. And her twin in the universe is trying to get her to go back. So now this is monthly for the love scope for Scorpio. Strong Mars and showy Leo trines brainy Uranus on September 2nd. Well, that just happened. Putting many of your sizable assets on display. You aren't always comfortable getting overt attention, but this is one time you rather enjoy it. A square between the Sun and determined Saturn is exasperating on September 13th because you realize that you have very little control over the outcome of your dates. And it's funny because that's when me and her talked, and I'm a Leo, was on September 2nd and talking about Leo. And right now Mars is in Leo. That's why I keep trying to tell you as above. And the true North Node is also in Leo right now. That's why I keep telling you, as above, so below. When you deal with astrologers, deal with somebody who knows what they're talking about. That's all I'm saying. And if you're dealing with somebody you get results, of course deal with that person. But don't just throw your money away and just, oh, I don't like his tone. That's just silly. Be glad somebody has tone. That means they care. They're not just ripping you off. A square between the Sun and determined Saturn is aspirating on September 13th because you realize that you have very little control over the outcome of your dates. And I was just teaching about 913 on my other channel. For someone who's most confident running the show, this could be a humbling time. So they're saying this month you may have to go through some form of a humbling situation. But they also said overt attention. But it doesn't start really until September 13th because you have little control over the outcome of your dates. It may be a humbling time. An opposition between Mars and skeptical Neptune on September 24th makes you suspect that someone isn't who they seem to be. An opposition between Mars and skeptical Neptune on September 24th makes you suspect that someone isn't who they seem to be. But the details are sketchy. Luckily, you love a good mystery. Well, that is all Scorpio and Pluto, the mystery, the secrets. So you're going to be going through a little bit of confusion, just like you said you're going through in September. All right. Now we're going to do career. But we're going to do it for September 3rd. This is career for Scorpio. Lady Luck is teaming up with you, and you can trust that she will be on your side for the next couple of weeks. Trust that this good luck will pull you through any sticky situations that you might get yourself into. Your safety net is there for you. Let's do monthly. A creative achievement will cause your professional star to rise around September 6th. If you get a chance to work with a company that's known for its innovative approach, grab it. The fun-loving full moon suggests that not only will you enjoy this work, but you will also get an impressive amount of vacation time. Now, this could be professional, but it could also be relationship. And that vacation is just feeling, you know how a relationship makes you feel, like you're floating around on cloud nine. There could also be a generous provisions for childcare. Working with a team will be frustrating on September 20th, when the new moon creates conflicts within the ranks. Personality clashes will make it hard to do your job. And that's what they wrote about in their email. But complaining will make no difference. Management expects you to be a team player. Do the best you can. Well, for her, we're going to do money for the month. Okay, well, they're only giving you the September 3rd. They won't do monthly for money. So it says from August 28th to September 3rd, things from the past may get dredged up again. So they keep telling you about the past, both literally and figuratively. So they can be released, thrown out, fixed up, or changed. Though this may not be pleasant in the short term, it is necessary to even positive. Although every part of your life is changing, it's lucky too. So you got Lady Luck helping you too. So we're going to be looking at all this on your chart. It affects your house of other people's money. So we're still talking about your 8th house. And that's what she wrote about in her email, the 8th house. Right now it's 11:17. 1 plus 7 is 8. And 17 is karma. It affects your house of other people's money. So you may receive all you need and more. So you may even have other people's money coming your way this month. So they're really looking at your 8th house with Pluto and Scorpio. So you're definitely going to have a lot of past life stuff coming up, twin soul stuff. And even that new person, because that new person you're talking about is probably a soulmate. Probably. And Scorpio tends to be that more emotional sign. Virgo is more analytical, critical analysis, probably thinking a little bit more. weighing the pros and cons possibly. All right. Last time we checked, let me just double check. I want to pull that chart up. And this is on the video because this person is going to receive 2 videos. Right now I'm looking at the chart on that video. Right now, last time we checked, the moon was in Capricorn. And that's all about being a little serious, being a worker. And ironically, his moon sign is so close to Scorpio. No, her moon sign is so close to Scorpio. She's almost a sun sign, moon sign, Scorpio, almost. And then his moon sign is dealing with family. All right, so just got to give me some time because now I'm just looking around. So his purpose in this life, the true north node, is to be more spiritual. Primarily with family, like family spiritual, maybe even spiritual education. He may have went to some type of spiritual or Catholic school. That's his true north node. Now her purpose, her true north node is her sun sign. Really, it is her moon sign. Whenever it's that close, it's the energy, you know. That's like a Sagittarius Scorpio. So that's really her true north node. So she's really gonna be like emotional, but she's gonna be highly psychic and very intuitive. That's why you could tell, because our universe basically is the sun and the moon. Those are the 2 rulers of the universe, of our universe. And even the Bible tells you that in Genesis chapter 1, the greater lights, greater luminaries. So she's going to really be in touch. Like I said, a lot of people are angels. They call you star children and star seeds and stuff. And that's why you're so in touch with the universe. So that is her true north node. And see, the divine feminine tends to come through the moon, and then the divine masculine, because she was talking about the older woman as well. And if you notice, opposite her Scorpio is Aries. And you see Aries, you see Lilith right there, because Lilith can come as an old woman too. And then you see his Aries as well with Mars. Let's count his house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's in his 5th house. So he loves it. But we already proved that. But we also got to be careful. He's very competitive as well. But a lot of times that could be a person that when I probably already mentioned this. But that person, when they get mad, they can really get mad. But you got that Scorpio, because you got to remember, Mars used to rule Scorpio. So that's why I say these 2 got that soul connection. They have a Mars, Scorpio, Aries connection. And that's why it's so intense. It's so intense. The stares are going to be intense. The frustration is going to be intense. And if they ever really let go and just got involved with each other, it would be very, very intense. And see how his Libra opposes his Aries with the communications, with the Mercury in Libra, and then she has Mercury in Libra. So these are definitely soulmates. So in order for them to get to that point where they start to communicate, they have to go through the intensity. Because you see how she's got Pluto in Libra. And it amazes me how this universe works, because that's what we just got finished saying about Scorpio. And Scorpio is trying to clean up old stuff, or fix it or clean it up, so you can move on. Either move back with your twin, because this is all about relationship. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Either move back with your twin or move on with this other person, because this is really all about relationship. And you could see on the chart that, just like she said, it's talking about him. So that's why what I'm trying to do now is just look around before I do anything else. Before I say, well, what am I going to do next? I just want to look around. On his chart, you see the number 28 a lot, which is the reincarnation number. Osiris was 28 when he died, but that was so he could reincarnate again and live again. You guys at number 33 with Jupiter, and that's with Gemini. A couple of 27s. And you see 27 on her chart. Some said 27s, you see 17. You see a few 22s. Now, if you notice, that's unique, because you don't see any 22s on his, but you definitely see them on hers. So the way I would say that, that's a challenge to the twin flame. And that's exactly what this is. She's got the number 44, number 27, which is 777. She's got the number 18, which is 666. He's got 16s on his chart. What we're gonna do now? So we already did what I'm still gonna look at the space chart. But we're gonna do Virgo again. We're gonna do Sun sign Virgo according to the space chart I did just yesterday. And right now the Sun is in Virgo, so really the universe is really focusing on him. But you see the 22, so it's more spiritual. Like, I'm looking at the space chart of September 2nd, 2017 at 4:24 p.m. So the universe is trying to make him communicate more, even work more on his Leo Mars thing. But they even got Virgo there, so he may actually have some love in his life, even right now, with Virgo, with Venus, Venus in the 5th house of yesterday's space chart, September 2nd. And he even has Vesta there. So that's amazing, because Vesta is there now in the universe. That's why I say you can't go wrong doing astrology. You can't go wrong. So he may also have some past life or some soul stuff going on right now. Because I kind of get the feeling, yep. See the vertex cross? The vertex is right next to Venus, love. So that's why I try to tell people is that with all this stuff going on, you have to be very careful, because it's very powerful, and you gotta watch your vulnerability, because you may really be falling for somebody, but they got somebody else. So they're kind of like giving you attention, but they still got somebody else. So it can get really tricky, and that's why I say you have to you cannot just go in with the emotions, because that's how people lead to like suicide, murder, or depression. You gotta go and you gotta balance it out, because I'm pretty confident that right now the universe is also working him out with love as well. So he may be coming to work and you may feel energy off of him, but just know that he's probably got other stuff too. He's got stuff he's dealing with too. And if you look on his chart, just like you talk about that old lady, well, he's got Lilith too. He's got Lilith right there with Leo, but with Virgo. And see, medium Coeli, it usually means the 10th house of career. So all this is planned out, is what I'm trying to tell you. But you know what's crazy? But then the Venus is with Virgo. See, your Virgo has Venus. In the 5th house. That's so crazy. And it's got Juno, which means like a more serious relationship. And keep in mind, the 5th house is ruled by Leo. This is amazing. So that person is probably you. That person, because you see, if you look on the chart of September 2nd, 2017, you see Leo, you see Venus, you see the vertex cross. And let's just say it's the second person, but you're still involved with it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's either you by yourself or it's the second person, but it's the same energy. Now, let's say you're waiting, you're a female, and you're saying, well, I'm waiting for him to make the first move. He should come to me. Well, he's got Lilith too. You got to remember that. Sometimes the universe will really work hard to put the two people together, but they still have to want to talk or whatever. Or if they're dealing with immaturity, they have to want to get past the immaturity. Because sometimes the universe used to put me and my twin together all the time. But if that immaturity is low, I mean, if they don't have maturity, like one might try to talk, but the other one's being a jerk, it's just not gonna work. They both have got to want to talk. And then it's sad to say, sometimes they get past all that and they do talk. Sometimes they get all the way to the point where they actually start having sex, but then it still goes into separation, especially with twin flames. Soulmates stick together better, a little better, but sometimes they go through the same stages as a twin flame. Sometimes it just depends. But what I can tell you is it's definitely in the universe. The universe is saying it's definitely ready to happen. You can see it. And his ascendant is even Scorpio. And that's her sun sign. So I can see why this is driving her crazy. This is real powerful. And her Juno is Virgo. And he's a Virgo. Because Juno is the person you end up in a relationship with. And this is all the 5th house. Ruled by Leo. And then his Juno is a Leo. So this is deep. Because I really don't remember a lot about the other chart. The only reason why I remember this guy because of Mike Marino. And it's kind of funny because Mike Marino was in the news recently. Because for the first time in his career, he got serious. Because he's telling Los Angeles, don't take down Christopher Columbus Day. Keep it up. Don't stop it. Because he said me and my family, as a kid, that was one of our biggest holidays, was Christopher Columbus Day. So he actually that's the first time Mike Marino has ever got serious. And he's been doing comedy since he was 18. He's a grown-ass man now. So, I don't remember the other chart a whole lot because we were saying that was your twin. But this one is real close too, just to let you know. So they told you this is all past life stuff, just so you know. And they told you that this month was going to be about past life for you. But yeah, you guys are definitely on the charts, and that's why I say with Fatal Attraction, I always use that movie. Because that was a true Scorpio 8th house Pluto movie. And I know you guys heard me talk about it, but I have to. The movie starts out with them playing some type of card game or board game. The man and his wife with his friend, another man and his wife, and they're sitting there cracking jokes about swapping wives and stuff. So I wouldn't crack no jokes like that. But that's already 8th house stuff. That freaky stuff. Animalistic sex, watching somebody banging out your wife. Like that's that crazy shit. That's what porno's made of. Yeah, but that's all 8th house stuff. So then he's minding his business. He worked a long day. You know how it is when you're tired. And you're real vulnerable when you're real tired. Because your flesh is taking over. He's in the elevator with her. She looks at him. He looks at her. And they already know. Boy, I would love to bang her out. And she's like, I would love to get banged out. And they know, but he's trying to keep it professional. But you can already tell she's ready. And all this stuff is real life. This is shit going all the time. This is nothing new. That's why the movie was so good. Because it was so real. But he does the right thing, you know, because the universe is trying its best to bring these two together. And people say, well, if the universe is bringing these two together, how can it be wrong? Because when the murders started, or the suicides, or the herpes, or the venereal disease, or AIDS, or who the baby daddy, or I'm a slash your tires, or I'm gonna kill your mistress. That's why it's not necessarily the best thing in the world, in our third dimensional view. So he did the right thing. He left. You know, he got out the elevator. Even though he wanted to stay, wanted to talk, and she wanted him to talk. It's obvious. But he did the right thing. I'm a married man. I got to keep it moving. But then the universe causes this rainstorm. The rainstorm came out of nowhere. And I've had this shit happen. The rainstorm came out of nowhere. So, of course, he said, well, I'm not going to be walking around in the rain. Might as well just wait till the storm passes. I'll get home a little later. But, hey, you know, it's raining. Might as well go right over there. It's New York. I think that was definitely the city. I don't know if it was New York City, but I think it was. Might as well go to the bar. You know how the city is. Bars all over the place. Bar restaurants. Have a drink. Nothing wrong with that. I'm, you know, by myself. Not doing anything wrong. So as he goes to sit in the bar, there she is sitting right there. And I mean, this happens all the time. If you knew how many times that happened, I could tell you incredible shit. Where I was way out of town. Nowhere near my town, and the exact same female I had been looking at and wishing I was with would be right there. Way out of town, no logical reason for that woman or that female to be standing, because I'm younger now. To be standing there. But she is. Because that's how powerful this world is, this universe that we're in. And whatever you want to call it, negative energy, positive, whatever you want to call it, but it's powerful, whatever it is. So now he's at the bar sitting with her. And of course, it's just, you're supposed to talk. It's anti-sociable to sit somewhere right next to somebody and don't say, hi, how are you, and shit, and have a conversation. So the universe does work that way. Like the woman kind of knows. She instinctively knows that I'll set this up, but it's up to him to come. And that's nature. You can watch animals do the same thing. And that'll happen. It's like the power of the female. It's the divine feminine. And he's not going to win. Because had he said, I'm not going to talk to her because something could happen, now he's antisocial. Hey, what's your problem? You got a chip on your shoulder. That's a lady. Respect the lady. But if he does talk to her, it's going to go somewhere where it don't need to go because he's a married man. He's not going to win unless he walks out that bar in the rain. And guess what? He might win that day. But do you think the universe is going to go, we lost? No. They're going to wait and they're going to set it up again. But he doesn't realize that the moment he gives in, all hell is going to break loose. Because that's what happened with King David. So, of course, he's sitting next to her, talking, few drinks. That's all it took. Now he's banging her out, cheating on his wife. And now he can tell his wife, oh, listen, it was raining. I just waited. She'll be okay, dear, no problem. I know it was raining. Because she don't know what really happened. Now he thinks he's going to have a mistress and a wife. But he doesn't understand that his mistress is a psychopath. Coming straight out of the 8th house. And when you understand astrology, like I do, that's why that movie, Fatal Attraction, will always be one of the realest, best movies to me. Because it was so real. Like Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock, I'm old school. So I came up on the black and white movies as a kid, watching the repeats. As scary as some of those movies were and thought-provoking as some of those movies was, they don't touch Fatal Attraction by the surface. Because that's how real it is. And when people realize how real it is, you realize you just can't do what you want. If you really believe it. You can't just dress the way you want to. You can't just go where you want to when you want to go. Because anything could happen. You got to think. Or you could try that walk on the wild side. But you better hope it don't get too wild. But that's a choice everybody has to make. I'm not telling people what choice they have to make. I'm just trying to wake anybody up that's a thinking person to how this universe we're in really operates. You wake up 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, and for some reason you got this strong desire to go up the street just to get yourself iced tea, a candy bar, a Hostess pastry. Get one of those sandwiches in the microwave at the local convenience store. It's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be right back. But you don't realize you could be being set up for anything to happen. Anything could happen. I'm not saying be scared to death and don't go. What I'm saying is think. Why are you waking up at this time? Why is this thought coming in your head? Like I said, I went outside in March 2017. It was supposed to be a 5-minute run. Drive the car up this little hill, drive it back down because I was having battery issues. Within that small period of time, head-on collision where a person loses control of their vehicle, almost takes my life, totals my car in just 5 minutes. To the point when I came back, the person was looking at me like, that can't, you just left. That can't, what you're saying can't be true. And the only reason why they had to wake up because the cop had to bring me home. So this is the world we live in. Again, not to scare people, but to wake people up that are thinking. See, the feely, touchy person, they don't care. And that's the person, like the book of Proverbs talks about that type of person. They're in their feelings. So they get involved with their feelings and then they put themselves into a situation that they wish they didn't put themselves into. That's what the book of Proverbs keeps warning you about. Jumping into situations from the heart and not balancing it. But for the thinking person, they start to go, yeah, why am I? Why did this person just call me out of nowhere? Even there used to be a teacher out here, and he would always tell you, he would tell you about the full moons and stuff, and he would say, if anybody knocks on your door, if anybody calls you and says, hey, could you take me here? He said, don't do it. You're being set up. He doesn't come out here as much as he used to, but his name was the 13th son, but he used to say that all the time. If anybody just shows up out of nowhere wanting you to go somewhere, don't take them, because that person's setting you up. And I can't tell you how many times I got involved with stuff like that and ended up getting a traffic ticket or an accident or anything else that I wouldn't even been out there. That happened so many times that I finally realized. That's why now, to this day, when people be trying to ride, I'd be like, nah. Because you're a grown adult, you should have your own method of transportation. And at this last job I had, Literally every person that came close to me set me up and helped towards getting me fired. But again, it's nothing you can do. This is the world you're in. This is the progression or the cycle of your life. And I'm sure it has some type of meaning. But when you're going through it, it could be the very rough thing you can deal with. So it's definitely meant in the universe for these two to connect. And the universe is not going to stop. So and some people say, well, why would the universe do that? Because I've seen natal charts. And what you guys don't understand is divine timing as well. Because I know one time 2 different females contacted me. Very similar names, almost spelt the exact same way. They contacted me at the same time. So when I did their charts, I was like, yeah. You're definitely this person's twin. It's obviously by the chart. And then the female said to me, that's not my chart. I'm like, what the hell just happened? But listen to what I'm saying. It was like the same name. And so I even did another video where I took all 3 charts because I couldn't believe it. Now, these people didn't know each other, but this is the universe. This is divine timing, divine synchronicity. So I did the 3 charts, and you could see it would be hard to tell which one of those females would be his twin. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. The soul cries out. And that's what's going on with this person right now in September. That soul is crying out. Hey, don't give up. Like my twin, she's always with me. She supports this ministry. She'll bring stuff to me and stuff. Her soul energy, her higher self. Always. Nothing but love and support. But the person she is in 3rd dimensional is a wicked ass witch that I wouldn't have anything to do with. And it has nothing to do with, oh, well, you need to do this. Whatever I try to do, she shot down. And I can't make myself show love if it's not there. But whatever I did to talk and resolve it, she was an asshole. And she flipped it. She was one of the worst people I've met since I've been on this planet. I mean, she was like sheer wicked. Like I'm not speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from the truth. My father was a beast. At least I can say good things about my father. He really was a good man. But this is a crazy ass family I'm in. I just found out last night because somebody said, oh, all true north nodes are retrograde. No, they're not. Somebody just said last night, if you have a true north node that isn't retrograde, it's direct, that means you might have misfortune. And ironically, my true north node is in Cancer, which is a family. And I definitely had a dysfunctional family. So I kind of had to agree with him. First, I didn't agree with him. Then when I thought, I said, yeah, maybe they're telling the truth. Because my true north node is not retrograde. Now, his true north node is retrograde. And I don't think hers is. Hers isn't either. So you got to be mindful of that. Hers is direct. You don't see no aura with a retrograde. But see, what I'm trying to tell her, when you're sent to this planet, it's going to be rougher. Like there's so many different people here, so I don't know everybody that's here. But let's just say you're an earth angel. That means you're probably going into a dysfunctional family. You're probably going to be abused, stuff like that, or the family's going to be, that's the way it's going to go. But you have to understand, you still can get past that because God wouldn't put you somewhere that you can't get through it. So my job is to talk about progression and cycles and to tell you the true story. Do you want to take that leap? Because she talked about this. In the email she sent me, she basically said that. See, I'm a little bit smarter in this. If the person's not staying with me anyway, why would I risk my whole life for this bimbo? I'm going to be honest. Because just like you're laying on your back for me, you're going to lay on your back for the next person, whoever. That's not, what's so special about that? That's nothing special. And I've been studying twin flames, and it's always some form of problem or separation. So why alter your whole life? My opinion. Why alter your whole life? But when people get caught up in their feelings, that's all they want to know. So they dive in anyway. So when you know your true north node, but now that 21 is 777, I'm going to go to my prophecy, www, this is my website, .prophecy last days, all one word, .webs.com. prophecylastdays.webs.com. When you get there, you're going to see a tab that says more. Whether it says more, M-O-R-E, or natal chart astrology, you want to click the tab that says natal chart astrology. And now this is going to give you all your numerology found on your natal chart. And we want to look at the 777, which is 21. Perfect harmony. And 666, 18 is perfect love. But again, you're going to have to go through trials. And I'm not scared of it. Like, I'm not scared of whether the true north node is retrograde or not. It doesn't scare me. Because, you know, the astrologer might forget to put it there. Because even on the chart right now, if you notice, I don't know, like I said, why they got an issue with Leo? Because even true north node in Leo is still direct. Why they got a problem with Leo? First, I'm a Leo. I'm born into a family that's crazy. I think everybody is nowadays. And that was because my true north node is in direct, is in Cancer. But your true north node is supposed to be retrograde. And so this is this. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so her true north node is in relationships. But it's that Scorpio relationship. So maybe that's good why I talked about fatal attraction. Because you have to be careful. Because emotions are a strange thing. They take us over. And you have to understand how spirits work. They want you mad and upset and dysfunctional and depressed. Because it's easier for them to manipulate you and take you over. That's why I always try to make things go wrong. Because that gives them power. So that's all I'm saying. The purpose is to think. When you say you want to walk on a wild side, you got to really be ready to walk. Because I remember us saying this guy was like a... I never said he was a bad person, so I want to make sure people understand. I never said he was a bad person, but we definitely know he's a risk taker. All right. When we come back, we're going to start looking at the retrogrades. I'll be back. All right. So I honestly feel like we got some clarity. So that's what we're going to do now. So, not saying you have to be scared of a true north node that is direct. No aura, no retrograde next to it. But you have to be aware of it because it's kind of giving you challenges in your relationships. And not only is it going to be challenges in your relationship, you're dealing with Scorpio. And you know how Scorpio is going to be. And you're dealing with a sun, moon. But it doesn't mean... What I'm trying to tell people is life is what you make it. Because I could sit here and whine all day about, oh, my daddy beat me, my mama ain't hug me. Oh, why she love my sisters ain't love me. And, oh, woe is me, the white man coming to get me. I could sit here all day long and whine. It's like it's still going to be what you make. But the purpose of what I do is to get people to think. Because it's something we don't like to turn on, which is our brain. We want to do everything based on feelings. You gotta learn how to balance it out. And once you learn how to do that, it's different. Like I said, if I wanted to be with somebody, I would be with somebody. Now, I probably wouldn't be my twin, because what you're dealing with my twin, you got me that I have a devotion to righteousness, which I've always had. That's what this person even said in an email. That's because I was sent. I'm not from third dimensional. That's quite obvious. But the whole thing she was, I guess, trying to make me do was become, say, more human. But I'm not with this shit at all. Like, some things I understand, but you know, if you're a real person with real life, then a lot of if you're like in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, I guarantee if you're a real person, you really did real shit. Like, you're not always on the internet on some punk shit. A lot of your people are dead. ODs. I've seen, like, they weren't my friends. I had friends that were hanging out with certain people, and these were all alcoholics. So, you know, just to clarify, I had friends that were hanging out with primarily white people for business reasons, but also for sexual reasons. But most of those people were like, they were more like out on alcohol, like women that were drunks, bar whores or whatever. But they were more dying because of alcoholic abuse or sexual, like, AIDS and stuff. And this goes on. I'm just being honest. Say, oh, that's nasty. What type of life did you live? Well, I'm clean. Always been clean. I was just hanging out. Like, God always protect. Y'all don't understand. I talk, but cats don't hear. I was always protect. See, I'm an angel. When you come to planet Earth, you're still going to be around. Like, a lot of people you call niggers, they're angels and shit. Like we even know that. Fallen angels. But if you're not listening, you won't get the information. Or if you're racial, you're not going to get it. But that's why they all like in gangs and shit, and gangsters and shit. Because that's what you would be as an angel. You would be a soldier. It's not that hard. I do so many natal charts where people know they're angels. And they know they can still see themselves with the sword and shit. They still remember feathers or whatever. How they remembered in their mind. And they may not have had literal feathers, but that's how they remembered in their mind. And who knows, maybe they did have feathers. I don't know. I don't know all that stuff. I just know I came here basically with a mission. And I always knew my mission when I got here. I knew I was here for a reason. I was always an old soul. I was only 5 years old. They said, you're like an old man. You walk like an old man and shit. And I always had my own way of doing things and still do. So, again, life is what you make it. And the reason why I'm going and saying all this, not because I just want to make this about me. I'm trying to teach this person. Because they're also sent. And that's what she basically said in the email. About just things. So that was supposed to be my challenge. It was basically like light meeting darkness. And even when I was little, that was always a question God would ask me. Because I knew I was here for two reasons. Ministry and to find this female. And he used to ask me, are you going to love that female more than me? Because I was highly romantic, especially being a Leo, sun sign Leo. When I first got here and stuff. But this planet wore it down. And then I think there's even a Bible scripture that talks about these people of God and saying that the world wasn't worthy of these people. I think that's like in Hebrews chapter 11 and 12. One day if I ever find that verse, I'll just might shoot it out here. I don't know. But just like the world wasn't worthy of Yeshua Messiah. They killed him. So it is what it is. It's not, you don't come here to bash people, but at the same time, you can let them people stop you from shining who you really are. And that's anybody. So these were the challenges. And like I said, that person was a straight up a-hole. Now we could always go coulda, shoulda, woulda, maybe. We can do that all day long. Coulda, shoulda, shoulda. But to me, if you a thief, you a thief. If you steal on Monday and you say, well, I only stole on Monday because of this. But you're still a thief. So what I'm saying is, the more you understand about astrology, you understand about life. So you do have to be careful. And what I'm also saying is, everybody's looking for that big feeling. That big feeling. Oh, I want somebody to make me feel a certain way. But it doesn't always have to be that way. Because if I really, really, really wanted to date somebody, I could definitely find somebody to date. It's 7 billion people. That's why I refuse. I refuse to go over all this stuff again. As far as talking to anybody. I'm on a different level with this. And And whatever choices people choose to make with their life, that's their business. But me personally, I'm just using this as a way to teach anybody that's listening. It's not about all that, you know. It just gets silly to me. I'm sorry. So if somebody tried to sell you a car that you know doesn't work, you'd have to be a fool to buy the car anyway. But they'll sell you something else, the same thing. But because your feelings are involved, or you believe in all this hocus pocus stuff, you fall for it. And that's what Fatal Attraction was about. He thought he was gonna get great sex with this crazy woman. The sex was great, but the sex was great because she was crazy. She had no limits, no boundaries. She is a freak, coming straight out that 8th house. And then he thought, oh, I'm gonna have a little mistress, you know. But that chick said, oh no, you miss. It's like when you see the movies when they get the babysitter and she crazy, and the babysitter tries to take over the house and kill a wife. She takes over the kids and shit, and the kids are showing the babysitter way more respect than they show their own mother and shit. And then she's trying to kill her mother that she could be with the father. These are crazy ass people, but there are people alive that do shit like that. Like I said, when you hear about the dude that allegedly got killed, Trayvon Martin, allegedly all he was trying to do was go to a convenience store at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. And he probably didn't have a lot of money, but just to get something, you know, to get him through the night. Little did he know that some psychopath is going to follow him into an alleyway or whatever and blow his fucking brains out. But you got to be mindful of where we are. You got to keep these things in mind. And the reason why I'm spending so much time saying that because it's 8th house stuff. So sometimes when you're sent here, everything anybody does is being recorded. But you were sent here, just like Jesus said. And when he leaves, he's not coming back to earth. He's going to well, that's Jesus. So of course, he went to the kingdom, if you believe the scriptures. But there's angels. You got other assignments than just planet Earth. So it would be a big mistake to get caught up on planet Earth bullshit. All this dysfunctional, crazy ass shit, where people can't even stay loyal to each other. All the shit that happens on this planet. Oh, I love you on Monday, but for some reason on Thursday I don't want to be with you. Or you're looking somebody in the eye, telling them you love them while you're fucking like 2 or 3 other guys, and maybe a girl too. Welcome to 3D, planet Earth. So when you understand this, you realize I didn't come here for this trash. I didn't come here for this bullshit. This is not my calling. I didn't come here for this. And then you're in a matrix. So even the Bible, all that stuff, is all part of the matrix. I'm not saying it's not true and not true, but basically it's all matrix. That's why you have so many different religions. Everybody has their own way of looking at the Bible because it's a matrix, and that's how matrices work. Holograms. You can make up anything. So when you realize where you're at and what's really going on, you got to realize what the real issue is. A good movie to watch is Bruce Lee's movie Enter the Dragon. When he finally caught the Mr. Evil. I'm just going to call the guy Mr. Evil. But Mr. Evil was very smart because he knew how to use mirrors to overcome his enemies. Like when you fought Mr. Evil, he could fight, but he might not be that good. Because I think Jim Kelly almost beat him too. I forget how he defeated Jim Kelly. The great late Jim Kelly. But Mr. Evil beat Jim Kelly based on some illusional shit. I don't know if it was the mirrors. I don't remember. Because I think they say the mirrors to Bruce. But I really don't remember. But he also tricked Jim Kelly too. Mr. Evil tricked Jim Kelly and beat him. Because Jim Kelly was winning. But Mr. Evil did what he did. But when Bruce finally caught up to Mr. Evil, Bruce Lee was whipping his ass. Because that's Bruce Lee. And then Mr. Evil turned out the mirrors. And now you couldn't see where Mr. Evil was. And Mr. Evil could see totally where you were. But for some reason you couldn't see where he was because of the mirrors. So Mr. Evil was beating the crap out of Bruce Lee at first. So then Bruce Lee finally realized that in order to beat this wicked liar, you got to break these mirrors. And that's what he did. He started breaking those mirrors. And once he started breaking those mirrors, Mr. Evil couldn't hide no more. And he beat Mr. Evil's ass. So for anybody that's listening, you got to break the mirrors of this matrix. If you really want to not be overcome. Or you can, like I said, I'm not saying don't take the walk on the wild side. You never heard me say that. But let's be honest about it. Let's not think it's going to be all love and happiness, because that shit ain't happening, bro. Somebody going to have a girlfriend on the side, or the dude might have an anger management problem or passive aggressive or something. Or after the pussy starts tasting good, he don't need it no more because now he knows what it tastes like. So now he's going to start. All these things are possible, but that could happen in any way. So like I said, you just have to be willing to take a walk on the wild side. So that's what to think about. Now that number 323 on her Uranus. Let's take out 323. California, North America, 213 and 323. Because I'm looking at his Uranus. His Uranus is 2703, which almost looks like 213. Close, but no cigar. But I'm still telling you it's connected. So like I said, this is really amazing. But at the end of it, you have to ask yourself, do you want to walk on the wild side? And if you do, and that's totally up to you, because it's definitely being offered to you. But the true North Node is telling you that your relationships will have problems, which most relationships do. And also, it'll have an 8th house connotation to it, which is a lot of intensity, but it's also a lot of power and power struggle. Remember, Mars used to rule Scorpio, now Mars rules Aries, so a lot of Pluto, Mars, it's going to be highly intense. But if you're up for it, like I said, if you're up for it, that's why I said it all boils down to do you want to walk on the wild side? Well, last thing I'm going to say on this is that if I wanted to be in a relationship with somebody, you could definitely find somebody. Not that anybody's ever going to be perfect, but you could find somebody closer to what you are looking for. But that's if you really want it. Because if you really don't want it, it's foolish to pursue it. Because then you're bringing all this energy into your life that you don't need if you really don't want it. And then if the universe is trying to put you up in situations of all this twin flame pain and twin flame separation and baby daddy drama, and you just had sex with her on Monday, but now she's laying with her other guy on Wednesday, and all kind of crazy shit that goes on in this disgusting planet, then that's totally what it is. I didn't come here for that gutter shit. Where I came from, let me just explain something to y'all. Get mad if you want to, I could care less. I remember giant tables. This is what I remember. A lot of class. That's why I use words like thoroughbred and pedigree. Giant tables and putting placement mats down for the cups. And I remember large libraries. I spent a lot of time in the libraries and stuff. I remember shit like that. And I just remember the love. I don't remember the people, but I remember the love. And that's why when I got here and saw this family I grew up in, I like, these people can't be my real people because they attack. And then they still do it. This is decades later. Go to YouTube, go to Yahoo News right now, and you might see a parent that just got finished killing their own kid. Who the heck does that? It's your own kid. So I should just sit there as a little kid and be like, this cannot be my real family and shit. These people are crazy. But I always felt that love. Like, even now, you still see a lot of numerology. But now it's like my twin's higher self is always there. Always sending me some type of information. But I've always felt my real family love. Like that whole Superman movie, that shit is so real. And even one of my friends that I met at this job where I met my twin flame, his name was Evan. And I always wondered, because we walked in the building at the same time. And the night he got fired, me and him actually walked out the building the same time. But I didn't know he got fired, because I actually worked late that night. I wasn't even supposed to be there. But the night he got fired, I worked late. When I walked out the building, me and him walked out together. But I didn't know he got fired. And it was raining. It was a very sad, that was a weird-ass night. Which I think it has something to do with this full moon. Because it's a person whose name is Evan on September 6th. And that's the full moon. And I think that's why they... Because that night, let me just explain something. That night, when I got home, it was a strange vehicle parked in front of my house. And this guy had his lights on. And I don't like that kind of stuff. First off, you're in my parking space. Second off, why are you in front of my house? So, we do got gangsters in the area. And like, you got to be careful when you're dealing with gangsters because they will shoot you. But I was just mad. And I was mad that he was in my spot. And I was mad that you see me. And see, at that time, I was driving this big car, but it could be mistaken. I used to drive a Grand Marquis. That's the one that got totaled. But it could be mistaken for them Fords that the police drive in the nighttime. So I thought if I pulled up behind this guy, he would think I was a cop and just roll out or whatever. Because you don't see nobody sitting in a car like that for a long-ass time. With the lights on, the outside lights of the vehicle. Like, what the hell's going on? It was just strange. And this is at late evening. And so I pulled up behind him to try to, like, make him think I'm a cop or something, tell him to move on or whatever. But at the same time, if there was gangsters, you pull up behind some gangsters like that, they coming out shooting. Because that shit happens out here. They'll steal a car and they'll be driving a car with no lights on. So you think you're being a good neighbor and you'll flick your lights to tell him to turn his lights on. And the moment you flick your lights, they shoot. They send bullets through your window to tell you to mind your business. So that could have happened. But the dude didn't do nothing. He just sat there that whole time. So I pulled up behind him. He wasn't moving nowhere. So I got out the car. Now the reason why it was nothing else I could do, because let me tell you how this works. See, my neighborhood's a black neighborhood. So, if you call and this happened before. If you call the cops and say, hey, it's this strange vehicle in front of my house, and we don't know whose vehicle it is, it's not our vehicle, we don't want it there. The cops going to go, well, they can park wherever they want. But if it's a white neighborhood, and you pull your vehicle up in front of somebody's house, and leave it, and they call the cops and say, hey, there's a vehicle in front of my house, I don't know whose it is or what's it doing here. If you think they're going to tell that white person, depends on the neighborhood, because there are some neighborhoods they consider black, even though they're white people. But I'm talking on a neighborhood where they don't do that. They're going to take down the license plates. And they're going to say, well, whose vehicle is it? And they're going to try to find out whose vehicle it is. Because they're going to want to know, why are you here in this neighborhood and why are you parking in front of these people's house? So that's how it works. I'm just telling you how it goes in the real world. For people that don't just stay on the internet all day long. So I know I couldn't do anything else. Because if I did call, they might tell me the same stupid shit. Oh, he's got a right to park there. I'm like, how can he park in front of somebody's house? He don't live here. So I just kept an eye on him. But that was just a real strange night. Plus it rained that night. It was a real gloomy, strange night the night Evan got fired. But now I know it's leading up to this September 6th. And remember, Evan is Eve. That's the divine darkness, the divine mother. And if you notice, we just did the Scorpio. We just did the Scorpio horoscope, and they all said about September 6th with the full moon. So now we look on that chart for Pisces, and see that's his true north node. It's Pisces in the 4th house of family. His ascendant being Scorpio. So these two are on the verge of connecting. And then if you look at her Pisces, I want to make sure I got the right house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11th house of friends, association, and groups, which can be fellow employees. You see it. And you see the number 17, which is karma. And that's Vesta. Vesta is the number 17. This is incredible. And then 666 is perfect love. We'll deal with the asteroid later. So let me just tell you the number 17 if I can find it really quick. But that is it's dealing with priest and priest, because Vesta is a priestess. See, a lot of stuff we do, we don't realize that there's reasons for it. And this is bigger than us. But you still got to be careful, because third dimensional is going to hold you responsible for what you do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. See, fatal attraction, she may have had every right to have animalistic sex with him. She may have had every right to claim him as hers, and this bitch that you're with, I'll kill. But when you bring it in the third dimensional, there's laws. And you just can't do what you want to. Alright, I'm just trying to find this number 17, which is a karmic number. But it's a certain site I'm looking for. And then I'm going to look for it somewhere else. I might have saved it as a file, but recently a lot of my files came up missing for some strange reason. But so is life. Give me a moment. Yep, here it is. And I'm going to call it 7 so I can find it easy next time. I'm going to change this a little bit. Alright, so this will be karmic number 17. Number 17, the star of the Magi. Magi. So these are the people that came to Jesus with the baby. This is a highly spiritual number and was expressed in symbolism by the ancient Chaldeans as the 8-pointed star of Venus. And we were talking about Venus earlier. The star of the Magi is the image of love and peace. See, what I'm saying is people here that inwardly they know. We don't care what you say. I'm going to meet up with this person. Because this is bigger than you. It's bigger than whatever you're talking about. And I'm not denying that it isn't, or is or isn't. But what I'm trying to say is, but in this life, you got to pay for that. That's the part they don't want to hear. You got to pay for, like he had to pay for what he did. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. So in the movie, at the end of the movie, his wife forgave him for cheating on her, because his wife kind of said, well, that lady was crazy. So obviously, she put something on my husband that he wasn't ready for, because she's obviously crazy. She burnt a rabbit up. She tried to kill me in the tub. She was threatening my child. She stalked our house. So this lady put something on my husband that he wasn't ready for. And everybody will say, well, that's not really true, because we didn't see her doing any voodoo. But then again, you burning a rabbit up in a oven. There probably was some type of voodoo. But what I'm trying to tell you is that was true. That's why if you watch some of the stuff women are attracted to, like Halloween and some of the outfits they wear and witches and all that, like this is bigger than us. It's bigger than this little body we're in. But at the same time, you can't keep going through life killing people, because I have a soul connection to her and she's with him, so I got to kill him and get. That's what they try to show you in the Bible. That's what that whole David and Bathsheba was about. They were trying to show you what happens with soul connections and shit. So what I'm trying to say is, when you think, you may come to a better conclusion. But most people don't think. They just know I got some type of destiny with this person. Nobody's going to stop me. I don't care. Oh, I don't like his tone. He's trying to speak logic. This ain't about logic. I'm going to follow my feelings. I'm going to do what I want. But if following your feelings end up with kids you can't afford, the person's still not with you anyway. Their lover might come kill your ass. Some type of police matter. So why, as long as you're in third dimensional, you have to realize you're in third dimensional. This stuff is bigger than 3D. It says the Star of Magi is an image of love and peace and promises that the person or entity it represents will rise superior in spirit to the trials and difficulties of earlier life. So now we want to look on your chart because this is about so your Vest is with Pisces. And we just got finished talking about because his true north node is Pisces. So there's definitely a karmic, like it's a soul karmic relationship, especially. And then again, the full moon is going to be on Pisces and on the 6th. And I want to look at that other chart. And right now, Neptune is in Pisces. And Neptune is retrograde. It was in the second house of finances, but that could be different by now. Because this was yesterday. Not a full 24 hours ago. So let's read it again. They're saying the Star of Magi, but they just said number 17 is the Star of Magi. So instead of saying the Star of Magi, which is kind of funny because right now we're talking about that star that's above us right now, which everybody's saying is Nibiru. And I'm trying to, the way I teach, I try to teach that the star of Jesus was Nibiru. But just to make it simple, let's just say number 17. Now I'm at excuse me. I'm at karmacastle.com. Both K's, no C's, except for com. karmacastle.com. Number 17. It's the Star of the Magi. So I'm just going to say number 17. Number 17 is the image of love and peace and promises that the person or entity it represents will rise superior in spirit to the trials and difficulties of earlier life. And I guess so that was a promise for Jesus because he was a little baby and Herod was already trying to kill him. Remember I said if your true north node is direct, it means unfortunate circumstance. So I'm pretty sure if we got Jesus' birth chart, his true north node would be direct. But I keep telling you, what was he? He came from heaven. So in that sense, he was kind of like an angel. That's why I hope what I'm saying is resonating. Because this person may say, well, I'm going to go with it because they're promising me I'll come out of it. And like I said, they got to make their own choices. You got to make your own choices. I'm just a different dude. I just believe in loyalty because I'm a Leo. But everything is for a reason because right now the universe is about Leo. And it's a true north node in Leo with Mars. But my true north node in Leo in the universe, the space chart, is direct. It's not retrograde, which still means trials. But I'm not dying for somebody that wouldn't die for me. And I'm not dying for somebody that's gonna, you want unconditional love, but you give conditions to love. That's kind of like a hypocrite. So I'm a different type of dude, but that's because I've been through so much shit. So I'm like an upfront type of person because I'm not going by what somebody tells me because I've been lied to too many times. And that could be detrimental because they say, oh, well, you don't believe. Well, I do believe, but I'm just not stupid with it. So if somebody says, well, I'm willing to go through all these trials because it says I wanted to come out victorious, and everything is for a reason, well then, that's the choice they make. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is female stuff, because females they tend to endure drama way better. They just do. All right, so number 17 is the image of love and peace, and promises that the person or entity it represents will rise superior in spirit to the trials and difficulties of earlier life, and the ability to conquer former failure in personal relationships and the career. And isn't that funny? Because that's what all this is about. This is where all this is going on. 7 is a number of immortality and indicates that the person's name will live after they're gone. This is an extremely fortunate compound number. And that's why I said, even though they said that a direct true north node is misfortune, they're saying that this number 17 is fortune. So that's why I said don't focus on what you think is misfortune. Because you'll go through your whole life saying, oh no, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But all I'm saying is be careful. There's a difference. This is an extremely fortunate compound number with one warning. It reduces to the single number 8, which takes you back to your 8th house, which is Scorpio, karma, finances, all that soul stuff that's in your 8th house. So it's important for anyone with 17 as a compound key number to carefully read the section about the numbers 4 and 8 at the end of the chapter. Now, I got this information again from karmicastle.com, number 17. So if you were to type it in your search engine, Karmic Castle, number 17, it should come up. I use a Yahoo search engine. All right. Now I'm going to try to do one other thing if I'm able to. I want to look at the number 54. Number 54 is about the Virgin. In fact, when I wrote it down, it says Atlantic City, which is New Jersey, where that storm is headed. That storm is headed to the East Coast. The Atlantic City, which is the Atlantic Ocean. It also talked about the mafia. And they make everybody wear 54. This is what it says, number 54. Don't forget about Studio 54. But Studio 54 was what? The disco. What is the disco really known for? Well, dancing. What else? What did they dance under? Under that big ball. Did you know that the disco ball is Nibiru? And we're talking about the Star of Magi? I can't make this shit up. That's why it makes me laugh, as thorough as I am, the amount of people that run. Because they're so weak and they don't want to deal with reality. They just want to deal with their heart. And I don't even care. But get the facts. That's like somebody saying, hey, listen. In your chart, on your natal chart, it says you're going to find love on Main Street in apartment 7. And that's all they want to hear. Oh, Main Street, apartment 7, I'm going to find love. And they lose their fucking mind. And I say, but you're also going to be murdered in that same apartment. But they don't want to hear that part. Oh, no, I don't like his tone. I'm out of here. That's just an idiot. So your self-esteem is so low that you don't have no belief or confidence in yourself that you only want to hear some of the message, but not all of it. Main Street, 7th Avenue, apartment A. Oh, I'm going for love. I don't need to hear anything else. No, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. I don't like your tone. So number 51. Number 54. Atlantic City. And I also put Virginia. Because it's the Virgin. That woman again. And that's what September 23rd is all about. The Virgin. The Mafia. And that's why you got all this stuff going on in Virginia right now. And Charlottesville. And black versus white. And all that stuff. The Mafia has the control of the games and the casinos in Atlantic City. All the personnel of the casino. From the sweeper to the director. They're all registered to the syndic of the Mafia. But isn't that an illegal crime organization? That's funny. It's an illegal it's an illegal crime organization, but they're able to be registered, and you better wear the number 54 to let everybody know that you're down with the mob and shit. So that means if you're an average guy, you're still like a mob guy. And they could knock on your door. See, this is what you don't understand. Mob is just like Freemasonry. Because they take oaths and they got hand signs and all that, just like Freemasonry. You don't understand that once you sign on, they could knock on your door and say, hey, listen, we need you to go over here and do this. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't have anything to do with the mob. You do too. You work at the casino. You work for us. And you better go here and you better do this, and we're going to kill you and your family. And we're going to make it look like you did it. So that's your number 54. Now, where do we see it at again? Where do we see number 54? Let's find it again. It's on her chart with Vesta. She's got 17 and 54. And 17 times 3 is 51. All right. So now we're looking at the gentleman to the left. The first retrograde I see is Neptune retrograde. So let me get on my little paperwork. All right. Now, give me 1 second. I don't feel like putting pause. I just want to do this real quick. It is 12:41, Sunday, September 3rd, 2017. All right, so we're doing Neptune retrograde. Now you got inner planets and outer planets. Neptune is considered an outer planet. It says these people are frequently confused inwardly as to whether they are virtuous or not. So when you want to talk about virtue, the first thing you want to look at is his Virgo, and that his Pisces, and that's his true north node. So he will have a problem with spirituality and stuff like that with a family, and I do remember saying that on the initial reading. That's his true north node. So he may have some family issues regarding spirituality. He may. So they're saying he will be confused for this reason. And see, his Neptune retrograde is in Capricorn, which right now the moon was in Capricorn. I'm not saying that it still is, but it was. And that's all about a worker, seriousness. But also Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so it is about karma as well. So this person also persistently seeks to help others, whether their help is wanted or not. They are more susceptible and more easily taken in by others. Now, I don't remember ever saying that about him. See, that's why I don't really agree with this Neptune retrograde. Because, see, one thing, Neptune direct is more idealistic. And they call Neptune a deceiver because it's so idealistic. They go, oh, everything should. Oh, I did this for this person, so they should do this for me. But that's idealistic, because just because you did something nice for somebody don't mean they're going to do something nice for you. So that's why they call Neptune a deceiver. But Neptune retrograde is more of a realist. So I don't see this guy as being susceptible. And she works with him, so she would know. But they say Neptune retrograde would be somebody who's susceptible or easily taken in. I don't know if that's true for this person. Now, we do have retrogrades that are asteroids, but it's kind of hard to find information on them. So we're going to do asteroids last. We're doing planets right now. All right, now we're going to keep going. And ironically, that's the only retrograde he has. So just out of respect for this guy, let's try to do another Neptune retrograde. But it's got to be past life, because I already explained to you what Neptune retrograde is. You want to know how it pertains to past life. And that's at Strago.com. They're pretty good, but I would prefer to use somebody else. Okay, this is paganpath.com, paganspath.com. They're pretty good. Now, Pagan Path talks all about past lives and retro. Oh, and they even got some asteroids, not all of them. That was interesting. Also, whenever you get involved with a soul karmic relationship, you always have to ask yourself, what if their real twin shows up? Because that's gonna be very, very messy. And also another way of looking at everything, because everybody frowns on religion, but the whole thing is like when you're not dealing with the Messiah, you're dealing with the soul. See, the Messiah is the sun, S-U-N. So when you're dealing with the soul, you're dealing with astrology and the karmic wheel, or the natal chart wheel. But when you deal with the sun, he breaks you off because they call a moon sin. That's why they say you're born in sin. And soul reincarnation is when you die, your soul is taken to the moon, swiped clean of its memory, and sent back down. The moon is in charge of all of that. Now, you can learn more about that on YouTube. You don't have to listen to me. I don't expect you to believe me, because even it sounds crazy. But when you do your research, it's pretty much true. And that's why this month we're talking about Scorpio and the moon and Pisces. And this is all about past lives and past souls. But when you accept the Messiah, he delivers you from, he takes you into the spirit. He saves you from the soul, but he also takes you off that natal chart wheel. So you won't have to keep repeating this over and over again. But some people might say, well, that's a bunch of garbage. That's some religious bullshit. And we're already immortal and blah, blah, blah. And if that's what they believe, I'm not even arguing. Because you're right, we are in a matrix. And most of this shit is bullshit. And most of this shit is a program. But you got to make your choice. I can't tell everybody what to do. I can only know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm just a fighter by whatever. I'm just a fighter. Like, I got unique things that make me me. But everybody's not me and I'm not everybody else. But me personally, I do believe in Messiah. But I don't have all the answers. I never said, like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't have all the answers. But I do believe in Messiah. But I'm also a sun sign. And he is the S-U-N. Malachi chapter 4 calls him the S-U-N. He's the day star, the morning star. He is the S-U-N. So I feel I'm loyal to that. And that's another reason why I don't get involved with all this. See, third dimension was really about that soul stuff. Having all this sex and all this animalistic behavior and getting high and playing low vibrational music and all that. That's all coming out the soul. But why? Because she wants to keep you trapped in her womb. And that's why really, they never tell you that, but Scorpio and the moon work together. They always tell you about the moon and Saturn, because they call it Saturn Satan. But that bottomless pit that the Bible talks about is the 8th house. All right, here we go. Neptune. I don't know why. Neptune, here we go. When Neptune is in retrograde, it says logic falls to the wayside. People gain an increased interest in intuition or esoteric matters. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for this reading we're doing. Dreams and psychic abilities find new followers and people begin to analyze their inner nature. Well, we already said that's what he's doing right now. He's going through a spiritual questioning of himself right now. New outlooks of communications come to the surface as artistic abilities get expressed. Neptune is the ruler over bacteria, viruses, and the immune system. So when it goes retrograde, allergies may pick up or worsen. So if he walks by you sneezing, just know where you learned that from. In addition, children who are given vaccinations during this time can develop stronger reactions to the drugs. This is why you want to know your natal chart and know astrology. Many people will suffer from an oversensitive immune system and can develop more serious diseases. So this gentleman wants to be very careful with Neptune in retrograde. Now it talks about Neptune in past life. If Neptune is retrograde in your chart, you are prone to escape reality through delusion or dream. But we kind of covered that because he likes risk. But that's how he's escaping reality. We covered that in the first natal reading. That's why, like I said, it's always good. It is good to get updated, but it's also good that when you get your update to also look at the original as well. Listen to the original as well. Few people really know what goes on in your mind, whether you're sitting across from the dinner table or at your desk in the office. And this is what we're talking about. This is a career work setting. Even while you're working, you have a strong tendency to drift off into daydreams or to more pleasurable pursuits. This can be one of the most dangerous retrograde positions in the astrological chart system. This position can cause people to be inhibited and to lack the confidence to reach their dreams and reality. But that's where it gets spooky, because in your dreams you might be banging this chick out, and in her dreams she's banging you out. But you have to ask yourself, do you really want to walk on the wild side? Because that's what Fatal Attraction was all about. That's why people hold back. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of people that cheat on other people and they have great sex and nobody ever finds out. But then you see all these retrogrades. You understand? So that's why I keep saying, even if there's not really a God or a judgment day or the Bible's lying, it's still karma. That's why you just can't follow those feelings, those primordial feelings coming out of the 8th house. You got to be careful. And I've been with women, and I know a lot of times they like taking risks. Like they think that shit is cool, but they also know that when you get caught, the weight is gonna fall more so on a guy, not on a female, even if she's the one that really set it up. Well, that's why I say it's a lot of thinking. When you're young and dumb, you make these mistakes, but as you get older, like right now, that TV show where a white girl and a black guy was in that water. This is recent. And they were saying because they said they had sex on a set. That's what they were saying. And there was an investigation. It was all in the newspaper and whatever. So he was saying, man, he basically implied she was lying on him. He I didn't appreciate that. My family, it upset my family. I started crying because my mother started crying because what she's saying isn't true. And then at first the female was kind of saying something differently. Like she tried to play that victim card like they always do. No disrespect, but I'm just telling you the truth. So I don't know what happened between those two, but I'm sure somebody basically said to her, listen, we got proof. And if you keep saying that, there's going to be a lawsuit. So all of a sudden, that female and that black dude is a white girl. And the black dude, they meet at this public club or something. And in front of all the paparazzi taking pictures, she's hugged up all on him saying he's a great guy and nothing really happened and he didn't do anything wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So she went from acting like the victim to now saying, oh, no, he didn't do anything wrong. Because they must have put some proof on her ass. Like, look, we got proof of what happened. So you better stop lying on him or you're going to face a serious lawsuit. Now, it reads on, consequently, they may find escape from the perceived failure through an abuse of drugs or alcohol. So you got to be careful of this person because they are a risk taker. And sometimes, believe it or not, I just got finished watching a movie not too long ago where this guy was a risk taker. But the reason why he was a risk taker was because his father always told him, you ain't going to be nothing. His father was like an alcoholic and always told him he wasn't going to, you're not going to be nothing with your life. You're going to be a failure. So he went through his whole life hating his father, but he was acting just like his father. He was irresponsible. He was a drunk. And he was taking all these risks. So that's why I say, when you meet a person, like I said, it's one of them things. Like it's a win. It's really like a win-lose situation. Because you find out information, but then again, you might not want the information because you really just want the experience. So that's why I'm trying to tell people. I'm just honest. Each person has to make up their mind. Do they want to walk on the wild side? For me, it was no. Because I've been here for long, and it's the same old thing. It's always animalistic, no matter what the fuck you do. It's sex, and then the person ain't gonna want to be with you. So why the fuck am I giving up everything for this shit? Whether the sex is great or not isn't even a question to me, because it's not going anywhere. So that's when I said fuck this, and that's when I went solo. And I still say that was one of the best decisions I made, because I found out so much other stuff that I am interested in, like all these prophecies and mysteries. Like, I love that shit. Astrology, I love that shit. But all that love in one person, and then the person can't even be faithful for whatever reason. That's just a waste of my time. And I don't feel like I came here for that. Despite the universe constantly pushing it in my face. I didn't come here for this bullshit. And where I come from, we're not on low levels. We don't work off low vibrations and low frequencies and shit like that. That's why sometimes you'll see like a black dude that's real intellectual and shit, because he's probably an angel and shit. I mean, I'm not saying that a black dude can't be intellectual, but sometimes you say that guy just doesn't act black. What the fuck? Is your dad, is your mom or dad white? What the fuck is wrong with you and shit? But that's because the dude's an angel and shit. He's in a body that happens to be like what they call, and I'm not even black, to be honest. I'm like a yellow boy. But in this racist world, like in Africa, certain parts of Africa where the white people have taken over, if you have a little bit of black in you, they just go black. You could be as white as I don't know what. You could be whiter than the whitest guy in the whole country. But if you have a little teeny ounce of black in you, they call you black and shit. And they treat you like a black person. So you be hearing white people go, oh, you know, I've had a horrible life because I'm black. And I'm like, man, you're not black. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh no, the government says I'm black because I have a 0.3% of black in me, so I'm black. So this is just crazy. I hate this planet, dog. This is the fucked up punk ass planet, dog. This whole thing is just like run by some bitch booty cowards and shit. But that's why I'm glad I came here to shine and shit. Like me, you're gonna have to kill me and shit, because I'm not bowing down to this bullshit. So getting back to this Neptune retrograde, they may also fall into escape from reality altogether and have bouts with various forms of mental illness. So these are the things to be mindful of. From a past life perspective, you may have had a lifetime where your dreams were laughed at, put down, or forbidden in some fashion. Or you may have been forced to give up your lifelong dream in exchange for other responsibilities, such as becoming a breadwinner for your family unexpectedly. Now you better hope that's not the case, because he's definitely not going to want to get serious. And again, if a person says, well, I don't want to get serious, I just want some great sex. Again, walk on the wild side. Nobody's telling you not to. My job is to give you the pros and the cons. These past restrictions may cause you to have a penchant for escapism or have extreme expressions of your creativity. This has probably gotten the best of you and caused other problems in various aspects of your current life. To overcome these lessons, you need to learn how to rise above challenges that come across your path. If you abuse drugs, alcohol, or use other unhealthy behaviors to escape your responsibilities or the unpleasant moments of life, you will need to seek help and overcome these habits and desires. To rise above these challenges, use your creativity in a positive manner. Learn to control it and not let it control you. Focus your efforts to not only better yourself and your life, but consider helping others who are going through much tougher situations than you. Or tough situations like you, that's what I would say. Now again, if two people really believe in astrology and they say, hey, let's work, we're really going to work together, it's obviously we have a soul connection. We have some karma, we can work together. That's different because they're actually trying to work together. But most people are not on the same page. One might be ready to submit to the universe, but the other one's not. And then some people say they're ready to submit to the universe until the universe starts showing them what it wants them to do, and then they want to back out. So these are all things you deal with. All right, I don't see any other planets on his chart. Okay, he got Mars. I do see Mars. So that was in his second house of finances. And that is career too. So be careful. See, the reason why Capricorn is so important right now, even in the universe, the moon was in Capricorn, because that's where you are. See, people have to understand everything happens for a reason. You're contacting me for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And he also has 28 there, the number 7, which is another sacred number, a mystical number. And then 28 is there too, which is the reincarnation number. Okay, so we already said he's got Mars in what believes to be his 5th house with Aries. So this is going to be an extremely Mars-Aries type of person. That's why he loves taking risks, very aggressive. But he might be passive-aggressive. You have to be careful. So Mars retrograde. It says Mars retrograde is the planet of war, and when it's retrograde, it can create anger and discord. Often it turns inward, and people go through periods of great self-doubt. So this dude, as much as he's a risk taker, he has a lot of self-doubt going on. This person can be passive-aggressive, inner angst, stressed and anxious of all the contributions of the Mars retrograde. See, like I said, don't get me wrong. Sexually, if he lets all that frustration out, a woman don't love that shit. But in a relationship, it's like, this dude's crazy. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what fatal attraction. That's why you're gonna. I keep saying it, because the sex part was excellent. Because she let out all that inner shit on him, and he loved it. But he thought he was gonna have a nice little sugar, go home to his family and live a double life. Go home to his family and be a family man, but then go to his mistress and be a Scorpio 8th house freak. But she had other plans. She wasn't taking second fiddle to nobody. So now they say this inner stuff going on with this person, the Mars retrograde, can be released in unhealthy ways and that directed at others. It can create illness. And they keep saying that, so you got to really watch this guy's health. Creating illness, heightened stress, and increasing conflicts and severe road rage. Because he's already a risk taker, so you never been in a car with him or the truck to see how he drives. And again, like I said, one thing about astrology, it could be right, but sometimes it's not. You do have to get to know people. Everything is going to be a risk in life. I really don't mean to be pessimistic, but I'm just telling people to think, because I just come across people that don't think. You've been dumbed down by the powers that be, and you get mad at me because I'm a thinker. Ain't nobody dumbing me down. You might as well kill me. I love freedom. I like certain things. Like I wrote a song a long time ago called Armed Preparation. It was about preparing your mind. And I was talking about the American, give me death or liberty, like Patrick Henry. I study history so my mind can see. Plan of Illuminati in Jesuit orders to enslave every man, woman, son, and daughter. To enslave every man, woman, son, and daughter. So you got the powers that be that want to dumb you down, and most of the people are just going with the powers that be. These people don't give a fuck about you. And just like right now, somebody said all this stuff going on in the skies, and the majority of the people aren't asking any questions. Like the majority of the people are so busy with working in their lives and whatever that they're not even asking questions. Like Jesus said, they would take no note. So they say if this person is fairly balanced in their emotions and nature, and I've been telling you that, the whole thing I keep saying is balance. Now they may not be affected by the Mars retrograde as others might be, but if they're not balanced, you got to watch out. But they said, but be assured that no one is going to escape the effects of a Mars retrograde. Short tempers can be applied to even the most calm and patient people. So you got to be very careful with that. So this person, Mars retrograde, past life, means they're going to have trouble speaking up for themselves. They have a lack of self-confidence, a lack of direction, or other self-imposed emotional blocks can hold you back from achieving your dreams. You probably look to others to fight your battles and are always disappointed when no one steps forward in your defense. You may feel like you're being a doormat for other people, especially the person you love. All right. Again, when I did this chart, I saw more like a risk taker. I don't remember seeing anything. I think I did see something when I did the retrogrades. But overall, I saw a guy that's not really that scared. But I think he's dealing with his internal problems by taking a lot of risks that he doesn't have to take. That's what I believe I saw. They say, so a person with Mars retrograde past life, if they do speak up, it's when they've taken all they can take. The anger builds, and when released, it is often out of proportion, quickly, and oftentimes harshly directed towards others. This could be caused from a past life experience when you directed to perform regrettable acts under someone's orders or demands, such as a soldier, a guard, or potentially a criminal. And it's funny because I was just talking about gangsters and angels, and that's what they're talking about. So maybe that guy's an angel as well. To overcome these lessons, try hobbies focusing your frustration and stress in a productive manner, such as building, hammering, gardening, or other types of physical activities. Learning techniques of realization can be of great value, not only for calming your emotions and stresses, but also for looking inward to examine or overcome these issues you brought into your lifetime to work on. So, according to his chart, you're definitely dealing with somebody with a lot of inner issues that they have to deal with. All right, so we will come back to his asteroids that are retrograde. We'll do all retrograde asteroids last. So those are the only planets I see on his chart retrograde. Now, for your chart, Jupiter retrograde in your 11th house. Jupiter is one of the two social planets. Jupiter can affect people in a very holistic manner. This retrograde causes society to reevaluate ethics, spiritual beliefs, and positions are questioned. So you and him are both questioning spiritual stuff. Laws and acceptable or unacceptable behaviors are reevaluated. Jupiter's retrograde reminds us that we're all interconnected as society, culture, and people. From this viewpoint, we see more of the things we have in common instead of differences. We look at those behaviors that may have once been unacceptable or had a stigma to them and find compassion and acceptance. Jupiter is a ruler of travel. When in retrograde, travel plans are often adversely affected. Even the best well-laid plans can fall apart. Luggage can be lost. Means of transportation can develop mechanical problems, and reservations can be mixed up or canceled. And that's especially true if you have a Mercury retrograde. You're going to have problems with transportation and communications and stuff like that. Past life Jupiter. Searching for ethics, values, and fairness is probably a strong part of your personality. You seek truth and look for deep meaning in life. Scientific or philosophical research may be of great interest. You may shun spiritual beliefs and feel a lack of respect for those who have a strong sense of spirituality in their lives. So that's kind of funny because that's what he is, though. That's what he's seeking. His Neptune retrograde makes him really seek spirituality through Pisces. But you're kind of like saying, oh, no, that could limit you. We're not here to be limited. And by not having this type of spiritual connection in your life makes you feel flat and sometimes empty. So you could complement each other, though. Like I said, our world is far from perfect. But in a perfect world, people would use their natal chart and they would use it as a guide. And they would actually get better. But in this world, even people that do look at their natal chart don't necessarily apply it. And then a lot of people don't want to look at it. Or they'll listen, but they won't really apply it. They won't really do nothing with it. They'll hear the information and don't want to apply it. So you probably feel boxed in and bogged down by routine, rituals, and blind faith. You continually question the latest fad or intellectual thought, only to feel disappointed in the end. You're looking for that perfect spiritual path mixed with the intellect, hoping to find the right balance between the two. So you're trying to mix, they go that word balance again, trying to mix the spiritual path with intellect, like I keep trying to say. It's got to be mixed. From a past life perspective, there may have been a lifetime when you were persecuted for your spiritual and ethical beliefs. This experience has probably left you feeling uneasy about embracing anything larger than yourself out of fear of another existence of persecution. You may be concerned about showing your wisdom, feeling fearful of responsibility, or jeopardizing the positions of those who listen to you. To overcome these lessons, try to listen to your inner voice or intuition. We all have gut feelings, and a healthy amount of skepticism is a good thing. But too much can keep you from finding the balance you seek. Take a little step and start with meditation. Even if you don't want to associate it with a spiritual path, you can't deny the scientific benefits of such an exercise. When you do meditate, take time to listen to your inner voice, and you might find the perfect path you're looking for. All right, I'm looking at all your planets. That was the only retrograde you had, was Jupiter retrograde. When we come back, we'll be starting with his first. We'll be doing the asteroid retrogrades, then we'll do her asteroid retrogrades, and then we will conclude. I'll be back. All right, now I'm going to do the asteroids. Pallas retrograde. Third house. All right, we just did this last night, but it's basically going to deal with social reform, and that's perfect to be an Aquarius. So this is a person that really would be interested in social reform, government reform, and even possible help or equality for like people in need or women. And that's perfect to be an Aquarius, because that's what Aquarius does. So now we're going to go to Kyrus. And did I say the third house? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, third house. 4. Yeah. Okay, Kyrus in the fourth house. Now, again, I can only give them to you because I'm not going to look up anything. They can be very difficult when it comes to asteroids online. So I'm not going to... How will Kyrus retrograde affect your sign? Let's see. So I want to go right in. Because all Kyrus is just about nurturing. So, of course, if it's retrograde, it means the opposite. But I want to say what sign are we dealing with? I think we're dealing with... No, what sign are we dealing with? Come here. Pisces? Interesting. Because that's where all the attention is on Pisces right now. Okay. Kyrus retrograde in Pisces will make this person be less of a sociable person or entertaining at home. It's kind of funny that she says home, because she doesn't know that this is in the fourth house. This is how I know that the universe knows what it's doing. As far as setting this shit up, the universe knows what it's doing. But why it's so fucked up? That's my question. But why has it got to be so painful and fucked up? But as far as them setting it up that way, they know what the fuck they doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because I didn't say nothing about this being in the fourth house. And this is his true north node. So they already knew that this person will be, let's read it again. They will be less socializing or entertaining at home. You could also experience some stress in your pocketbook. If you are single, you may feel a little lonelier than usual this summer, as your friends may be working too much to socialize. Male Pisces should be wary of becoming involved with a sexy older woman who may not have their best interest at heart. Now, the reason why I stress that, because maybe this is what she's talking about. Because she kept saying older woman. So I guess in my previous reading, maybe I read this before. Because I said something about older woman. And then she kept saying that in her email, her recent email to me yesterday. Well, see, the older woman anyway is really Crone. See, the divine feminine defines herself as 3 people. Generally, it's a young girl, the middle-aged girl, and an old woman. And sometimes she might even do the little girl. But the little girl, young girl, they're in the same energy. And then it's like the middle age, like, you know, whatever you want to call it. And then it's the older woman, the Crone. So I want to read this again. Male fish should be wary of becoming involved with a sexy older woman who may not have your best interests at heart. It's funny, but don't you think it's funny that they're warning a guy? That's crazy. Who wrote this? I think it's amazing that they're warning the guy, because they're always looking out for the female. Let me see who, but they don't really give the I want the author's name on this article. They don't give it. Okay, where I'm at spiritnow.com. How will Ceres, CERES retrograde affect your sign? So, wow, you know what's funny though? Didn't I say right now Pisces is the center of a... Let me just tell you why there's a problem. I already told you. See, he wants spirituality because it kind of looks like he didn't get it at home. Or he got it and didn't want it. I may have said this in the first time I did this reading, because this is an update. You're listening to an update. So this is like part 2, an update. But whereas she basically is saying, hey, we can't limit ourselves to just spirituality. We need truth. Like a spirituality is some belief somebody gave you. So that's a danger for him. That's the biggest danger from him, because he really wants it. That's internally. Because according to what they're saying, that'll help him stabilize. Because he's dealing with a lot of inner demons. That's why he's a risk taker. I don't want to say it, but he does have something like a... I'm not saying he's suicidal, but he's got so much going on that he's kind of like risking his own life. He kind of wants to that's why a risk taker wants a death wish. It's not just, oh, I just like the high. I don't have a death wish. I just like the high. But you could just go to the amusement park and sit on one of them rides where they seatbelt your ass in and spin you around. Okay, that'll make you feel high too. You ain't got to be jumping out no planes if you ain't got to. Jumping off the bungee, jumping, all that crazy shit. That's a risk taker. That person has some type of suicidal shit going on. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all may not agree with me, but anybody doing crazy shit like that, like the parachute might not open or the bungee cord might not hold, you're risking your fucking life. So you got some type of death wish thing going on internally. And you're acting like it's fun so that people don't really catch on that you got some deep stuff going on within you. All right, so those are his 2 retrogrades. All right. Okay, Chiron retrograde is just an area where you're going to have trouble healing. But it's the same area where you have Lilith retrograde. And that's in your 12th house. But Aries. But see what I'm trying to tell you, the Aries that might have hurt you, that Aries energy, because he's got maximum Aries energy. Because remember, this is all about people you've known from previous lives. So, I'm kind of figuring it's him. And if you notice in his 12th house, he's got who? Scorpio. And that's your sign. Scorpio. And the 12th house is about endings and karma. So it's pretty self-explanatory as him. And see, you got it with Lilith, because Lilith don't play. And you keep talking about that old lady trying to suck him in. That's Lilith. Plus, if it's revenge. See, mine hated me. Like, mine had a fucking death wish, and she was an Aries too. But I knew I called my twin 2 things, Aries and Lilith, because that woman was just wicked. So maybe I did do something in the past. I don't know. Or maybe like I didn't give her the attention she wanted. I don't know. Because that chick was destined to just come gun for me and shit. And then there goes Pisces again, because this is all about Pisces. And both of y'all like social reform though. So in that sense, you relate to him. But I think what you're trying to do with him, because you do have spirituality, because Vesta's right there. Or maybe Vesta's trying to help you. Vesta's trying to help you connect with him. By being more, because that's who he is. Or I won't say that's who that is his true north node. So that, let's put it this way, it might not be who he is, but that's his life purpose in this life. He's got to become a spiritual person. And it can't just be internal. He got to stop all that secret stuff and holding stuff in. He's got to come outwardly. So if you're going to be with this guy, that's kind of like what your job is, to connect with him and help him become more outwardly. Now for you, I don't see any more we did Ceres. If we didn't do it on you, we already did it before, what it stands for. And we did Chiron, and we did Lilith. All of these are retrogrades. And we did Pallas. That's it. Now, let me just look at one more thing. All right, what's going on? Oh yeah, Kira. Let's do your Kiris. Kiris in your second house. We'll do Kiris and Gemini. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Okay. You might have to tighten your belt a bit to improve your cash flow. Still, you won't be grateful for all the hard work. Still, you will be grateful for all the hard work you are doing now, as you will soon be rich. And don't forget, Lady Luck is on your side for the next couple of weeks. This configuration may signify the departure of an annoying older woman from your life. Yeah, because you know what's crazy? This is what she wrote about. She kept saying this older woman's trying to make me do something, but I'm trying to stay virtuous. And this configuration, and then they talk about Lady Luck might be in your life. See, but this is why I say people need to always. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is what everybody doesn't understand about me. I'm trying to help. I could have ripped all y'all off. I could have been like the rest of these people out here. Not all of them. There are some honest astrologers out here, but most of these people are ripping you off. They're playing you on your heart. And I can't do that. I can't live with myself. I'm trying to help, but people are so stuck in their ways that they're just so fucked up that they don't want to listen. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, and you don't like my tone, yeah, because you don't like the truth. That's what your biggest problem is. I'm a Leo. This is what we represent: the sun and the truth. That if you look at the space chart right now, that's what you're gonna see. True North Node and Leo, and I think Mars was still there as well. So we didn't come to play. We didn't come to hold your hand and make you feel good. I didn't come to speak to you in a soft tone. Yes, everything will be all right. Just send me some more money, and everything will get better. Maybe not for you, but for me. See, I don't function like that. So I'm trying to help. So what you have to do as a person is to get the truth from the universe, because that's what's going to decide everything. And then you have to find the person who works best with you. Rather it be me or somebody else. But you want to get smart. You want to use your resources wisely. This has nothing to do with feelings. Feelings is the basic. You have to be able to balance, listen, rationale, reason. And you got to stop thinking somebody else is going to solve your life problems, because I'm not going to do it. You know how many people think I'm going to make a decision? I'm like, nah, I'm not going to make a decision for you. I'll tell you what the cards say, or I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's your life. You got to learn how to use the brain God gave you. Oh, I don't like his tone. I'm leaving. Maybe if he talked more like Michael Jackson, I would stay. Tito, give me a tissue, Tito. Because you're a crybaby. No tissues here. You're an angel. You're a freaking soldier. Toughen up. All right. This configuration may signify the departure of an annoying older woman in your life. So you might be kicking her to the curb, or she may be leaving for astrological reasons. That's something you might want to look into more about the older woman, because you wrote about her. It could be that you trust this woman and think that you could not live without her help. Yeah, but that's empowerment. See, that's why a lot of females, they rely on their mother and stuff. And believe me, a lot of times your mother means well, because I know how my mother tried to teach my sister. But I had to come up behind my mother and say, you better stop listening to that crazy shit. I said, that's why she's single. You notice ain't no man in her life. Why are you taking advice from somebody who ain't got no man on how to be a man? If you're going to be with a man, you're going to have to learn. Like, I'm all for female power. I got nothing wrong with female power, female identity, but you're in a freaking relationship. This is where you guys lose it. You can't be married to somebody and think he's just going to be your servant. And a lot of you guys really believe that. You think, well, you use that crappy, unconditional love. Just love me unconditionally. Are you loving him unconditionally? Now, if you are, I'll shut up, because some of you are. I'll give you credit. Some of you will put up with a man's bullshit. But a lot of you won't. But a lot of you want a man to put up with your bullshit. If you're not willing to take it, then you can't give it. See that? Like, I'm one of those upfront type of dudes, because I've been screwed too many times. I'm the most loving, most giving person you want to meet. Might not sound like it, but that's from years and years of being on this pathetic ass planet and getting hurt and betrayed and still getting back up to finish my mission, because I'm not going to let evil win. I refuse. You might as well kill me, because I don't plan on selling out. I don't plan on. But I'm not perfect. I'm in a body that's not perfect. But I'm going for the win. I'm a Leo, 5th house. This is what we do. So yes, it is very personal. So my point to anybody is this. If you want somebody to love you unconditionally, then you have to love them unconditionally. In other words, like what my twin did, at any time she could have stepped up and said, hey, you know what? I know we have a lot of differences or whatever. Because I was always trying to communicate with her. She was just doing weird shit like following you. She'd follow you around, stare at you, but never really hold no conversation. And she scared the hell out of me, to be honest with you. That's like a scary, like, oh, this chick is crazy. But she was the queen of mind games. I'm just seeing how much time we have. All right. So that's why I said we'd have to come to the table. She'd have to get past that, but she probably won't. No time soon. Had to be able to talk on some type of term. And like I've said, I can't talk silly stuff. Because you're like, oh, you know, this guy came up to me talking about we're twin flames. I think he's crazy. And everybody's saying, yeah, he said he sounds like a nut job. But did any one of those people look at the information? No. See, I look at the information. Anybody come to me, you're probably going to think I'm crazy. No, I'm not. What's the information? And I check it out, and usually what they're saying, there's truth to it. So I didn't come to this planet to play games. And that's what we got out here. Grown ass adults that can't use their brain, can't be logical. So they hate my ass because I'm telling you the truth. And you hate the truth, which is why y'all are the same people that killed that positive energy that came here to die for every last one of y'all. And y'all killed him. He's coming here to die for you, and you kill him. But now we want to talk about love and unconditional love. So this is the planet we're on. So we have to deal with the facts. So for me personally, I didn't come to play games. If you want to talk, we could talk. If you want to act like a fool, then hopefully someday this will be over with. So I don't have to see you or be around you no more because you're just nuts. You're a nutso. And women have intuition. She had the same dreams I had. She knew, but she still went against it. Why? Because she's an a-hole, first and foremost, let's be honest. Plus, it probably scared her. But at the end of the day, she just wasn't ready. So I'm telling the whole universe, why send me something that's not ready? Why waste my fucking time? But this is how the universe works a lot of times. It's not always bad. It could be great times that the universe works. But I've been doing this a long time. That's why I'm not afraid to speak up. Plus, I already know that I'm in a body, but I'm limited in a body right now, but I'm not limited. I'm limitless. I come from spirit. So these people that you call universe, they're family anyway. They know who I am. They know who I was before I got here. Just like they knew who Jesus was before he got here. These are just people that were in bodies for a period of time, but then they leave. That's why he even goes, why, Father? My God, why you forsaken me? Like he's going, hey, this wasn't part of the plan. I didn't expect this part to happen. What's going on? So you can ask questions. And then like he said, Father, pass this cup. You could do anything if you want to. You can do all things possible. Pass this cup. Not that it be my will, but your will. So he was basically saying, wow, do we have to do it this way? So you can speak up. People think they're scared. You scared to talk to God, scared. You can't be on this planet being scared. You got to be like valiant and be willing to go ahead. And that's why I said at one time I wanted my twin to step up and talk. Let's just talk. Maybe if we talk to each other, we can get past this silly shit. But this chick wasn't, whatever her reason was for coming to my life, she damn sure wasn't trying to unify nothing. She was doing her best to drive me crazy, and she did a damn good job. That's why I'm glad they finally fired my ass and pulled me up out of there. Because that chick was definitely on the inside my head and shit. But she wouldn't stop. So this is this Lilith energy they're talking about, this Crone, this old lady energy and stuff like that. Not saying she's bad. I never said I don't even like saying Lilith is bad. And they say horrible stuff about Lilith. But I'm saying that's some intention, it's energy that you don't want to fuck with. If you can't come to peace with it. So let's read this again and then we're out of here. Now remember, Gemini is also the twins. When Kyrus goes backwards or retrograde, you might have to tighten your belt a bit to improve your cash flow. Still, you will be grateful for all the hard work you are doing now, as you will soon be rich. This configuration may signify the departure of an annoying older woman from your life. It will be that you trust this woman. It could be that you trust this woman and think that you cannot live without her help. But the fact is, you would do much better without her around. Dependencies of all kinds will be eliminated from your life this summer, so you can learn to stand on your own 2 feet. All right, so I don't know when they wrote this, when it's this summer, but what you can take out of that is the universe is trying to get you not to be dependent. Even you already said it about the older woman. But again, sometimes you have to come, you would have to take more readings or whatever you're going to do. I'm just telling you what you need to do. But you have to really come, because you're no dummy. You know your stuff. So you have to really learn more about that older woman and how you want to handle it. But I would tell you, try to make that a priority. And y'all got to understand, I'm not saying you got to, well, yeah, I kind of am, only because of the price. It depends on you, but some of your angel cards only cost like five cards, $5, 10 cards, $10. Like, and then I try to do a deal. I'll do a deal. Like maybe, whatever. But it'll be a deal. Like if I was to say 20, it would be more than 20 questions. It would be like 25 questions for 20. But I do deals. You understand? But this is information you need. Now, whether you get it here or go somewhere, just wherever you go, make sure you can get your own angel card deck. Get your own angel card deck. But I'm trying to say this is nothing to play with, because she's feeling this older woman. This older woman keeps popping up. And this guy is obviously, he's got a part in all of this, because we wouldn't be finding this out. Like, as much as I disdain a lot of stuff about my twin, at the end of the day, I love that woman. I love that woman. I'm just sorry this shit was fucked up with her. And I learned so much. I learned so much. She hurt me, but she helped me at the same time. Like John Cougar. What do you say, love? Some shit. Come on, man. What's that John Cougar? I'm running out of time, because if I go past 3 hours, it may not record. It may not record everything, so I got to get ready to end this video. Hurt so good or some shit. Come on, baby. Feels so good. I used to be banging John Cougar. For real. He used to rock. Like in the 80s, that was a man. Jacking down here. Used to be banging. Now I do open. I love all music, baby. But I like that I'm a universal person. Everybody's made for a reason. And that's how I connect with a lot of people. Even a lot of people that ran from me, I still connect with a lot of people even then. All right. So that's as far as we can go, but we learned a lot. This is why when you get natal charts through me, take notes. Stop going, oh, I don't like his tone. Don't worry about the tone. Take notes. Because I know I do my job. And I know I speak for the universe. Just take notes. Learn how to take notes and apply it. And, like I said, she has to determine if you want to walk on the wild side, go for it. Me, like I said, I've been here for a minute, so I don't did enough wild side stuff, but that's me. But don't get me wrong. Like, I could meet some female anytime that fucking just, because I got intuition. You just know. Like, you just get a feeling that, wow, this is going to be different. This is going to be exciting. I need a break. And all of a sudden, for some reason, this female, I go way further with her than I ever would have went with my twin or anybody else. Because my twin was just on some negative energy at the end of the day. When all I was doing was minding my business. I wasn't necessarily being mean to anybody. I was just minding my business because I was hurting. I didn't even know I had health problems and stuff at that time. But all she worried about was what she wanted. She was just very selfish and very childish and very immature. And she was a very negative person. That's all good. Now, maybe with somebody else, they didn't see that in her. But your twin really sees you as you are. She's like Ma Deuce. Now, Ma Deuce will go out the house and go to church and kiss everybody, and she'll stay going all day. Nicest, most loving person you want to see. But the moment she walks in the house, here comes some old crazy-ass broad cursing and yelling and screaming and all kind of crazy hell. So that's two different people. So if somebody said, like if you ask Bing Crosby's son, describe your father, Bing. Well, on a good day, he would only smack me upside the head. But on a bad day, Dad would probably punch me all in my face and hit me upside the head with the ironing board. And they're saying, you heard about Bing Crosby? That famous singer? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're really his son? Yeah, I'm really his son. Well, we never knew Bing Crosby to be like that. But that's how he was externally. But internally, he was a different person. Now, I'm not saying these people are bad or wicked. I'm trying to say they have dark sides. That's all I'm saying. And like, if you're trying to get your life together, the worst thing you need to do is to bring somebody in your life that's fucked up. Because now your life's going to be fucked up. And like I keep trying to tell you, people think it's just going to be sex. Let's hope so. But that's what he thought of Fatal Attraction. He thought it was just going to be sex. But he didn't realize he was dealing with a sociopath. So I come from the generation that I'm old school. If the door is closed, no need in opening it. If ain't nobody knocking. If the chest is closed, Pandora, no need in opening that chest because you might not like what come out of it. So you have to make that choice. Are you ready to walk on the wild side? Then go for it. But if you're really saying, hey, I really don't need this shit in my life, then don't. But it is a journey, and people put you here for a reason. But I don't have to take every challenge that comes my way. Because if I did, I would be fighting every day. If I took every challenge that came my way, I would be dead by now. Because they don't stop. So I'm not taking every challenge. I'm deciding. I'm my own agent. I'm my own boss. I used to work for people, but everybody I worked for sold me the fuck out. So now I am a free agent. I work for myself. And I make that final decision. And if somebody says, well, because you didn't do this, we're going to do this. Well, you've been doing shit to me since I've been here. That's nothing new. That's why when you beat the shit out of somebody, that's the worst mistake you make, because now they got nothing to lose. And as far as dying, hey, it's probably a step up from this piece of shit planet. Now, I'm not telling somebody come kill me, but if you do, make sure you know how to shoot. Because then you have some asshole shooting at you, and now you're paralyzed, but you're still alive and shit. I don't want you to just miss what I just said. And I don't mean to be pessimistic, but I'm just giving you all the opportunities of the planet that you're on. This is Get. I've had a pleasure. I don't know if you did, but God bless.